こんにちは皆さん。私はDala Nasserです。よろしくお願いします。This work is called Noah's Tombs. It's based on 3 different tombs of the Prophet Noah in Western Asia. When I was first invited by Hursan to be a part of the Aichi Triennale, I knew that I wanted to pick a topic that would resonate with Aichi. And given that this is the first time I show in Asia, I decided to pick a subject matter that focused on different forms of spirituality and a timeless story, and the story of Noah's survival and the monuments dedicated to his plight to save living life resonated with me. The 3 tombs are, the first one is in Lebanon, and it is the round structure you see made out of mud around you. This tomb was famously visited by Mark Twain. It probably was a Roman aqueduct, but today it exists as Noah's tomb, and many visitors go there to pray. And another location for his tomb is in Jordan, next to above the Dead Sea, and it's a large dome. So this dome structure is based on the tomb in Jordan. And the final structure is at the edge of the Tigris River in eastern Turkey, and it is a grave. In Turkey, however, it's inaccessible since it's it's just a grave that's sort of unfounded. So to represent that, we have these sandbags that are treated with river sand. But it's believed that he is buried in all 3 or none at all. And they are all different sites of where people, go on pilgrimages to pay respect. Generally, in all my previous works as well, I do these rubbings of different locations around Western Asia as a way to preserve it also, because, of the history and the present and whatnot. And sometimes it's hard to go back, sometimes it's not, but that's fundamentally how I work as an artist, and that's why I choose these sites on purpose. It's always the case in all my work that it's a location that I know most of the audience can't access, and that's what makes it fun for me to go to these places. It's a bit of an adventure. But generally, what I can tell you on the sites, they're all places where people go to pray, so they're very quiet. There's only, very dimly lit. There's nothing really around it. It's just a structure that's covered in. There's always, the color green is very important because green means a prophet. So all of these tombs have green fabric over there to symbolize that this is where a prophet was. But generally, they're very, a long time ago, I went to Kyoto and I went to the top of Fushimi Inari Taisha. It was very quiet and early in the morning, and no one was there. And now it's impossible. Yeah. But that sort of, spirituality, the way that it exists as a shrine, this is what these spaces exist as. So I hope that somehow this can convey that. Formally, I'm a material-based artist, even though I was trained as a painter. And essentially what that means is my work is based on the material that I use. And since my focus is always different historical, geographical locations, I use material from the space itself. So what you see behind you are fabrics that are treated with charcoal rubbings of the actual tombs themselves. So they all contain an imprint of the shapes, as well as the imprint of the dome itself. The work itself was created around this room. And since this is such a large room with a central column, I decided to combine all 3 and create this mechanism that you can imagine keeps spinning around and carving the tomb out of the mud behind you. I'm very much inspired by Gutai and wabi-sabi, and many different Japanese aesthetics. So for me to show in Japan is very important, and I very much wanted to create an artwork that would combine, different sort of sensibilities, but also fits into the imagination that you read sometimes in different mangas of an apocalyptic future or past. So there is no time that this structure really exists in. It could have been when the tombs themselves were built, or it could be in a distant future created by someone who wanted to pay tribute. But the story of Noah itself is a timeless one, and one that resonates globally. The work is very physically exhaustive to make, and it's also very kind of textured, so please feel free to touch it, but it's at your own, you might dirty your hands, but I welcome all interaction with the work. You can sit on the stage and walk across it, and please do enjoy them up close and from afar. The materials here combine ash, charcoal, sand, mud, different sorts of dyes extracted based on colors of different stones that are protection stones, essentially, like malachite. And these nets also are meant to take a nod at the boat that Noah himself created. So if you see over there in the wood, there's the shape, the outline of the structure behind you. So like when you're drawing in sand or in mud, if you put a bucket with mud and you put it and it takes the shape, it's supposed to evoke this idea that it's grinding it, like out of this mud. That's why it's a circle, and it's based around this column, so that it's, never ending, constant circle. The Ouroboros. Ouroboros. The snake that eats its tail, death and rebirth. And it's also important to say that my work changes based on where it shows. So the next time that this piece will be put up, it will look entirely different, because the architecture of the room that it will be in, or the space it will be in, will also be different. Personally, I'm always biased to the first place that I show it. So to me, this is very special. And so, please enjoy it. It will not look this way next time.